Still think my prediction is wrong that Joe Biden won't be on the ticket by November the 5th? What a wild week. By Monday, Tuesday, we thought, well, he's digging in his heels. They're saying he's not going anywhere. And then the walls keep coming in. The walls keep caving in on Joe Biden's candidacy. George Clooney has turned on him. 3 weeks after Clooney hosted a high-profile fundraiser for Joe Biden, the first Democrat senator has turned on Biden. Nancy Pelosi has turned on Biden. Jerry Nadler, all of the top Democrats are slowly coming around to the idea that Biden cannot win. Along comes an Emerson poll that shows that Biden actually loses to Trump, of course, but doesn't lose as badly to Trump as Kamala Harris would. I mean, they are stuck. They're in a pickle. They are. Have you ever seen this kind of implosion in such a short period of time? Doesn't it feel like it's happening like in a blink of an eye? You had Nancy Pelosi yesterday asking a black woman, essentially, don't you know how to speak English? Now let that sink in for a moment. Imagine what happens to a Republican who turns to a woman of color and says, am I speaking English to you? Oh my gosh, they'd lose their minds over at MSNBC, CNN, the New York Times. It'd be front page news. Certainly that Republican would be forced to apologize immediately, if not step down. I mean, you know the left would accuse somebody of being a racist for asking a black woman if you don't know how to speak English. But that's exactly what, here was the day Pelosi had. She shows up on Morning Joe. I'm no fashion expert, but apparently with no makeup on and her bra strap showing. I kid you not. She looked like she just rolled out of bed. And they asked her, do you want him to step down? I want him to do what he wants to do. Yeah, but Madam Speaker Emerita, do you want him to stay? I want him to do what he wants to. And her bra strap is showing. She looks like crap. She's got no makeup on. You got Maxine Waters on TV adjusting her wig on live camera. She looks like crap. And you got Pelosi asking the black woman, am I speaking English to you? Oh my, you don't believe it? Let me play it for you. You see, kids, we got the receipts.
Do you believe that him waiting so long to make this decision?
I'm not going to make any comments in the hallway about the fate of our nation, okay?
Are you concerned whether or not he can win in November?
I think he can win.
Do you believe he should run for re-election?
I'm not speaking English to you. I'm not going to be making any statements about any of that right now in the hallway.
Am I speaking English to you? Says the privileged 80-something-year-old white woman to the young black journalist from ABC News. It's all falling apart. They are in big trouble. 1-800-655-MIKE. Something desperate's going to have to happen. It's something big is going to happen. They can't hand it over to Kamala Harris. There's just no way. I know they lose the money if it doesn't stay with the Biden-Harris campaign, and there's a lot of money at stake. But this Emerson poll just came out that shows that she fares worse than Biden does. They're going to try Hillary. In fact, I agree with the text I just got on the MyPillow text line from Albuquerque. Hillary is going to be creeping in. They're desperate. Maybe Michelle Obama. I'm thinking they got to go big or risk losing big time. 800-655-MIKE. Welcome in. What a wild week it's been. And we got 2 more days here in the home base. And then we're at the Republican National Convention on Monday in Milwaukee at the Fiserv Forum. Going to be my 11th Republican National Convention, my 20th convention, my 20th political convention overall. Which, considering that they happen every 4 years, that's pretty impressive, don't you think? I'm kind of proud of that. But listen, what it really means is I'm just an old guy, but old enough to know that Joe Biden isn't going to be on the ticket. You think I'm wrong? Let's find out here in the Relief Factor Studios, 800-655-MIKE. I want your voice front and center. I want to put you front and center. I want to find out what you think is about to unfold. And do you agree with me that my prediction will hold? It is inconceivable that Grandpa Joe is going to be on the ticket by November the 5th. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know how they're going to get out of this, but they got a mess on their hands. And let's face it, it couldn't happen to a nicer bunch of people. Meanwhile, the fundraising is drying up. And that's why Biden's going to be out. The fundraising is drying up. The donors aren't donating. Biden is done. There's no conceivable way he stays on the ticket. I just want to prepare you for it. I want you to be ready for it. I want to be wrong. I pray I'm wrong. I pray that somehow Biden outlasts them all. I just know in my heart it's not going to happen. I know I have a ban on MSNBC or CNN clips, but I also reserve the right to temporarily lift the ban when I can play a clip that will make you happy. This should put a smile on your face. As I often say, Nicole Wallace is one of the worst of the bunch. She's the most insufferable kind of MSNBC host because she's a former Republican. She's a Bushy. She served under George Bush, right? Now she's a monstrous, angry, vicious MSNBC cable news host. Well, she's got her big oversized glasses on. She's hosting a panel yesterday. And when I saw this clip today before the show, I had to share it with you because this is sure to make you smile.
I know how difficult this story is for my audience, but I'm not going to shield anyone from the news. This is new polling from Wisconsin, from AARP. 2024 election, for voters over the age of 50, Joe Biden's at 43%, Donald Trump is at 52%. The Senate race, Tammy Baldwin is running about 4 points ahead, but she's losing.
And the hits just keep on coming. I mean, there's new polling out from Emerson showing that the Democrats have a real predicament. The Democrats were thrown into fresh convulsions of panic over the Cook political report, as Guy Benson over at Town Hall characterizes this, moving 6 different 2024 presidential projections in Donald Trump's favor. But then comes another poll from Emerson showing that Biden loses to Trump by a slimmer margin than Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris isn't popular. Nobody likes her. And I don't think that this angry, bitter media is going to want to try to drag her over the finish line. She is one of the most unlikable political figures in the history of America. And they know it too. Trust me, they know it as well. Isn't it crazy to see how all of this has happened in such a short period of time, how everything is going so well for our side right now? Don't be complacent. That doesn't mean you can stop fighting. That doesn't mean you have to stop your efforts to get family members registered to vote. That doesn't mean you can stop volunteering at the local Republican Party headquarters. That doesn't mean you got to stop volunteering to be a poll watcher. All of that has to continue. We cannot let our foot up off the gas. But at this point, let's face it, this is Donald Trump's race to lose. He's in the driver's seat.